Sunday evening. Wanted to just go through some quick news with you. You got to be careful how you interpret all this or how you receive all this information about the current prime minister tentatively resigning because remember they played some games regarding when after Mahdi resigned and Mohammed Saleh was kind of temporarily acting as PM, they came out saying that he was going to resign, but he actually never stated he did resign. So they played a lot. They do play a ton of and remember all the crap they did last year with the education minister. So they play a ton of games regarding their politics in the media. So be careful how you receive that. Okay. So I just wanted to stress that to you. Um, and remember, even with what's going on, they still have a stable enough government to really change the rate. And remember, the CBI never said they needed to have a full completed seated government. What he said was the CBI said before they agreed to delete the zeros, they said Iraq needs to remove their corruption. Okay? That's what they stressed was remove their corruption. The corruption's gone. Okay? And their government is strong enough, but like I've told you guys, I'm not worried about the formation of the government. That's why I don't put a huge emphasis on it for you guys. Okay? And there was one other article here I wanted to show you guys. Give me a moment here to find it. No, it's not that one. Okay, it talks about the 2020 budget. Okay, I think it was near the end here. Hold on, let me find it for you guys. I think that's it. It says he called on the interim government and parliament to speed up the amendments to the budget and to give a clear and essential role for the private sector in implementation of reconstruction investment projects and not to neglect its role as in the 2018-2019 budget. And they transcend political polarizations while discussing them in the parliament because it is the budget of the patient Iraqi people. It is the budget of the patient Iraqi people. You know why it's the budget of the people? It's actually never been the budget of the people before, but it is now because this is the budget that has everything in it that's post rate change that is for the people, the reforms, the reconstruction. That's why this is the first budget for the people. This is the first budget that's going to rebuild their entire country, that's going to give them a better life. So that's what I wanted to stress to you there, was that last paragraph. Anyway, guys, here's all the news article for you. God bless and have a great evening.
The presidency of the Republic in response to a statement of apology by Mohammed Alawi, Saleh will begin consultations to select an alternative candidate within a period of 15 days March 1st, 2020 inches Baghdad Obelisk. The presidency of the Republic in response to a statement of apology by Mohammed Alawi, Saleh will begin consultations to select an alternative candidate within a period of 15 days. Currency forwards are OTC contracts traded in forex markets that lock in an exchange rate for a currency pair. They are generally used for hedging and can have customized terms, such as a particular notional amount or delivery period. Al-Sistani sets the ruling on selling foreign currencies at time above their market value. Localities 02, 20, 20, 20, 2006 1566 Baghdad Today, Nayef. Religious authority Ali Al-Sistani defined the ruling on selling foreign currencies as forward above their market value. Al-Sistani answered a question in which he said, "Is it permissible for a person to buy cash and give a specific profit for it?" Sistani said in his answer, "There is nothing wrong with selling foreign currency in the local currency, even if it is more than the market value, in the future. But it is not permissible to increase the price named in exchange for extending the period." Baghdad sends late wages to employees of the Kurdistan region. March 1st, 2020 inches The Central Bank of Iraq announced, on Sunday, the salaries of employees of the Kurdistan region, estimated at more than 450 billion Iraqi dinars per month. The delay in sending salaries by Baghdad has been delayed for about 50 days, due to special measures from the Iraqi finance. The bank branch told Barbal Shafak News that Baghdad has put on the branch account the salaries of Kurdistan region employees, and it will be dispersed after a technical defect has been exceeded. He explained that the account is not available yet due to a defect in the electronic system of the account, which will be resolved in the coming hours. Al-Nasiri, delaying the approval of the 2020 inches budget will lead to economic stagnation and harm the people. March 1st, 2020. The advisor at the Iraqi Private Banking Association, Samir Al-Nasiri, confirmed on Sunday that the delay in approving the general budget law for 2020 inches will have major negative economic impacts and will lead to economic stagnation and harm to citizens and affect clearly the movement of the market. Al-Nusayri said in his interview with Al ICTA said news that the economic elites were hoping the resigned government would move from preparing them from the budget of items and numbers to the budget of development programs and plans and contribute to the implementation of investment projects and stimulate investors and encourage them to invest and reconstruct liberated cities. But unfortunately, they were not sending them to the House of Representatives according to the time ceilings in effect in most countries of the world, but the circumstances of Iraq and its environment unstable politically, security, and economically. And this was accompanied by a peaceful popular movement demanding reform and economic and political rights. In addition to this, the government disclaims resigned from bearing the responsibility of the large budget and planned deficit of 48 trillion dinars, and relying on it being a caretaker government, and it cannot refer it to the House of Representatives constitutionally. Al-Nusayri explained that failure to approve the budget means that it is considered a payroll budget only, and will be spent at 1/12 of the actual expenditures for the previous fiscal year for each month. And this means giving negative indicators to private investors to start their investments. He pointed out that this will inevitably affect the increase in the unemployment rate and the poverty rate due to the suspension of investment projects, which were planned to be implemented, which will prevail the economic recession. And if the recession continues for a period of 6 months, it will lead to recession. Al-Nasiri hinted that the delay in approving the budget will lead to the failure to implement the reform decisions promised by the demonstrators, whose allocations amounted to 10 trillion dinars, and that the Iraqi-Chinese agreement allocated to the budget in 3 trillion dinars will be delayed, too. Al-Nusayri concluded his speech with the effects of coronavirus on the planned deficit increase due to the decrease in Chinese demand by 3 million barrels per day and the decrease in global demand also due to the decline in commercial and tourism activity and transportation between countries, in addition to expectations of low oil prices during the second and third quarter of 2020 and the possibilities of OPEC's decision to reduce production by borders 500 barrels a day. He called on the interim government and the parliament to speed up the amendments to the budget and give a clear and essential role for the private sector in the implementation of reconstruction and investment projects and not neglect its role as in the 2018 and 2019 budget. And they transcend political polarizations while discussing them in the parliament because it is the budget of the patient Iraqi people. Rockets fell on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Baghdad today. Baghdad. A security source in Baghdad said, on Monday, that rockets landed on the American embassy in the capital. The source told Baghdad today that missiles launched from the municipality's area fell on the American embassy in the green zone in the center of the capital, Baghdad. And the American embassy in the capital, Baghdad, from time to time, is subjected to missile targeting by unknown parties.